Hello folks, this is Aitananja from InspiredRise.com, and today we are going to talk about the Oppo Reno 2. So guys, just like the Oppo Reno 10X Zoom, the Oppo Reno 2 has almost the same build and design, and it feels familiar to the previous design. If you look at the back, it comes now with a quad camera setup and has a very nice gradient finish. The particular model that we have was in the bluish color, and if you look at the back, there are 4 camera modules and it comes with a 6.55-inch AMOLED Full HD Plus display with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 protection, and at the back there is also Corning Gorilla Glass protection in order to protect the back. And if you look closely at the back, there's also dual tone LED flash. There's also a nub at the left hand side. There's the volume rocker for this smartphone. At the top there's the shark fin design, and on the right hand side you get the power button with accents, and at the bottom there's the 3.5mm jack along with the USB Type-C port and the speaker grill, and on the right hand side you also get the hybrid SIM tray slot for this one. If you look at the back, it gets scratches and smudges very easily, so it's one of the less sturdy designs out there in terms of that. And at the top there's the shark fin notch, which is one of the peculiar selling points of this smartphone. And now let's talk about the specifications. It comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G chipset, 8GB of RAM, 256GB of internal storage, out of which you get only 220GB of internal storage free, and it supports USB OTG, has support for NFC as well as a lot of other sensors as well. Comes with a 4000 mAh battery, and this device supports VOOC 3.0 charging, so that's one of the selling points of this device, that it charges very fastly. And now let's talk about the benchmarks and performance of this smartphone. It scored above 2 lakh, which is a really good score in terms of performance, and the 730G is not a slouch. If I talk about the internal storage, it supports up to 400 to 500 megabytes per second read-write speed, UFS 2.1 storage, supports up to level 3 cam 2 API, that's also something good. You can run Gcam on this one, supports widevine L1, that's also a great thing for a lot of users. And it has Oppo's game space, which boosts your gaming performance while you are playing games. You can play something like PUBG on this smartphone on high settings, HD and high settings, but there was no HDR option or extreme frame rate option on the HD setting, which I particularly disliked. And we played PUBG on the smartphone for a long duration of time in order to test how the gameplay was, and particularly I found few things, that the gameplay felt smooth, and the AMOLED display is certainly a really good experience for anybody who's out there just to play games. But I felt that the lack of a extreme frame rate option on HD settings felt a little bit disappointing to me, considering the price point for this smartphone. I was also able to play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on maximum possible settings, but another positive point about the smartphone was the fact that it did not heat up much even after extended periods of gameplay. And now let's talk about the camera quality of the smartphone. So it comes with a quad camera setup. At the back there's the 48MP primary sensor, and along with that there's the 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, a 13 megapixel telephoto sensor, and a 2 megapixel mono sensor. If I talk about the camera UI for the smartphone, it was particularly like those smartphones which have come before this one, and there's also another option in order to focus the sound in videos on a particular subject who is far away. It features up to 20x zoom, and you can go from ultra wide to up to 20x zoom, can come in handy in some situations. So this is the 1x photograph, this is the 2x, and then if you zoom into 5x, till 5x the photographs come in very clear, but up to 20x there's some sort of pixelation in those photographs. And then this time around I started from the ultra wide and went up to 20x zoom. At 20x zoom you can see some pixelation. Oppo's color science is similar to previous videos, previous testing that we have done, and the front camera is a 16 megapixel one which shoots good selfie, but in extreme backlight situation the high dynamic range does not work that good. Portrait mode edge detection is still good enough, and the 20x zoom can come in handy a lot of times. Now if I talk about the video quality, it was good enough in a lot of conditions, but in extreme backlight conditions I felt that the video did falter sometimes, so that's something that needs some fixing. But apart from that, there's an option called as super stabilized videos, and it was particularly seen here with the EIS and OIS. The videos were really stable, and it does take some time to focus, so that's something that I would really want the Oppo guys to improve, that you have to tap to focus sometimes in order to get the continuous autofocus working. So that's something which needs fixing. If I talk about the multimedia experience on the smartphone, it's really good because it's a full view display smartphone, and the shark fin pop-up is a very unique solution for everything. And the AMOLED display certainly feels good in terms of the color reproduction and sharpness. And now let's do a sound check. So guys, the sound was loud and clear, but I really missed a stereo speaker setup on this smartphone, particularly considering the price point for which the smartphone retails. It would start at a price of 36,990 rupees in India, and for such a price, I believe that this smartphone is certainly overpriced. It would be available from 20th of September, and if we talk about few of the things, there would also be a 2Z model and a 2F model in the Oppo Reno 2 series. So that's a kind of saving grace considering the fact that those models might be more affordable than this one. If we talk about everything and if we talk about the competition right now in the Indian market, there are certainly models like the Redmi K20 and the K20 Pro out there which offer a lot at a lower price point. And considering the fact that the Oppo Reno 2 does offer quite a lot of stuff like the camera, the battery, the performance is something which could have been better. It does not have something like the Snapdragon 855, and though it does have a great build and design, but still some fronts still need to be improved. So guys, this was it for this video. In case you like this one, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and do subscribe to Inspire to Rise for more awesome tech videos like this one. And guys, no matter what you do, stay inspired to rise.